Last minute, but I am having dinner tonight with Bob Proctor at 7 p.m. Four Seasons Hotel. So if you can make it, man, let me know. Four Seasons Hotel, Park Lane, 7 o'clock dinner with Bob Proctor. Appreciate you, man. Talk soon.
An obsession is a persistent, disturbing preoccupation with an often unreasonable idea. Obsessions, most people think of obsession. When I first thought of obsession, I thought that's something that's controlling and that's not good. I thought, wait a minute.
You want it to be the controlling dominating thought.
It's got to be good. If it's bad, it's got to solve it. So I looked it up in the dictionary. What does obsession mean? And that's what it means. It's a persistent, disturbing preoccupation with an often unreasonable idea.
Which sounds good if it's the right idea.
If we run after the right thing. Most people are obsessed with something. It's controlling them. Well, you want to get it so that it does control you. He'll set it first you give life, action, and guidance to the idea. But then it'll take on a power of its own and it'll coax, nurse, and drive you. That's what desire does. So obsession is a good word if you direct it properly.
Right.
You know, you gotta understand what it is. That's where your imagination comes in. Your imagination will take you wherever you want to go. It'll take you to whatever frequency you want to go to. To use your imagination, it's the most magnificent tool we've got, to take us to that frequency. There is a place. You've gone to that place. And when you believe it, you join with it. You become one with it. And then the attractive force is set up because you're in that vibration now. That's what you're going to attract. But most people will go there, say, yeah, and then come back.
That's what you taught me, to build the idea in your mind at $1 million a year. What are you wearing? What do you look like? How do you think? How do you act? How do you walk?
See, I think if you want to win, you got to look like you're winning. You got to walk like you're winning. You got to talk like you're winning. You got to act like you're winning. And you're going to be winning.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Super excited to be on here with you guys. Ready to go ahead and absolutely pour some serious value for today. Today, we are going to be talking about the power of awareness, about what happens when you start to develop new levels of intention, right? When we actually gain new experiences, we're able to actually start changing the way we see things. And in return, the way we see things will absolutely start to change. So, family, before we go ahead and dive into today, what is everybody grateful for? Grateful to be alive, grateful for God, grateful for the journey, grateful for all the abundance that is flowing to and through us, grateful for the morning routine, right? Drop your days down below. What day is everybody on as far as your morning routine goes? I love it. We are past day 40, and I can tell you, I can see the difference. I can feel the difference, not just in myself, but from seeing everybody else as well. So I love it. You all are doing absolutely phenomenal. So let's go ahead and dive into the day. All right, today we have a training that I took from this morning from one of our mentors, Sean, and I honestly had a big shift because of the visual that I had. And I truly believe if you can really take this in, it's going to change the way that you look at your problems, change the way that you actually have joy inside of your life, because there's two ways that we can all wake up, right? We can either wake up to joy or we can wake up to misery. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it for today. You ready? I want everybody to go ahead and imagine the sun, right? I've got like a five-step process I want you guys to really think about, to go ahead and put together as far as it relates to our success and why it is that we could be feeling some type of way every day that we wake up, right? Because we can keep doing the work, we can keep doing the affirmations, keep writing down the vision, but if the energy does not match it, if the vibration does not match it, it is going to waste. So here we go. So here's the visual I want to go ahead and get into, everybody. You ready? Imagine the sun, right? If we were outside and we're looking at the sun and it's shining bright, it's a nice hot day outside. Imagine if you took a mirror, right? If we went out and we took a mirror and you held it against the sun, what do you think the sun would say, right? All it's going to do is it's going to shine its energy. It's going to shine that bright light right back into it. You know what the sun's going to say? Feed me, Give me more energy. Give me more light. I love it. I love it. I love it. More, please. So now that's the sun side. But what happens when most of us, we end up looking in the mirror? You see, the problem is a lot of us, we feel broken. We seem broken. So when we look in the mirror, we seem depressed. We seem anxious. We look at our body and we're not happy with what we see. So here's what I want you to really dig down and start to understand, okay? It comes from different levels of awareness, right? It comes from really starting to understand that change is not going to happen externally. It starts internally, right? When you can start to look in the mirror and love what you see and love the growth that you're in the process of and love the journey every single day that you're waking up, because you know you're getting closer every day that you do your daily disciplines, okay? So this perfect example, when you start changing the way you see things, the way you see things change, you start having love for yourself. And this is why our mentor says it all the time. Are you ready for the love? Are you ready for so much abundance to pour in your life? Are you ready for all of the hand claps to be coming your way? Are you ready for the influx of messages coming into your inbox, thanking you for the value, thanking you for your impact, thanking you for showing up every day and being the light in the darkness where they didn't see anybody else that actually had the type of faith that you did in their life, right? And how amazing does that feel? What kind of energy does that light and fill you up with? 1111 paints your vision. Okay, so when you can start to look in the mirror and actually be proud of what you see and actually be happy for the growth that is on the way, and it comes from not only about what we say we're going to do, but when we start following it up with action. Okay, this is when we start to really connect. And when we say we're hitting the gym today, when we say we're going to fill ourselves with alkaline and whole foods, when we say we're really going to plug in and be a student and ask questions with intention, this is where the growth truly begins. Okay, so this is big. So number 3. I want you to think about, once we start getting new levels of awareness, right? Once we can start to go ahead and gain new data, we can now set new intentions, okay? And this is so important to understand, because for a lot of us, the biggest reason why we end up getting stuck or we end up feeling a certain type of way is because we don't have the experience out in the field, right? Yes, we can do the Zoom calls. Yes, we can show up all the time. But when you actually go out and you experience somebody on a phone call, when you actually experience making a video, when you experience actually making a new relationship with somebody that you've never met in your life, this is when you start to gain the confidence. You start to actually believe in yourself. You start to change your wiring, your self-talk, because you understand that it's not as scary as you once thought, right? So number 4, let's go ahead and keep tying it together, okay? Once you have this new awareness, once you have this new confidence, this new self-belief, and you're able to actually create your joy, because here's the truth, right? Sadhguru says, every day, there's no such thing as good or there's no such thing as bad. It is up to us to go ahead and decide and choose how we react to everything that happens in our life, right? It becomes our responsibility. In other words, our ability to respond to everything that happens. So the next time you have a problem in your life, I want you to think about it. You might see it as a problem. Somebody else could actually see it as a blessing. Your tire popped today, good. That could have literally stopped you from getting in a car crash 2 lights down the road. Right? You lost a trade today. Good. That might have been the time to maybe humble yourself to say, you know what, maybe I need to go ahead and get back on the charts. So all of these different lessons that I had coming into my life, I started to learn how to look at them in a completely different way, because I'm going to break this down for you in a way that's really going to hit you hard. In 5 years, I'm going to give you one of the biggest issues that I see with most individuals and inside of entrepreneurship. Okay. And I've been a victim myself too. This is why it's so easy for myself to talk about it. You ready? Here it is. I call it stacking, okay? It's easy for a lot of us to jump on a couple calls. It's easy for us to show up on a couple go lives and read a couple books and hear a couple audios. But if the real deep work is not really being done, actually getting up early, actually hitting the gym, actually really working on yourself, here's what's happening. You have your old paradigm and you're stacking information on top of an old paradigm, and you're wondering why you're really not seeing the success. Because the truth is, we have to rid the old paradigm first, and then we're able to actually really go ahead and stack on the real information. Okay. So my goal for everybody is when we're on this run of consistency, this is a perfect example. I'm on day 42. So those of you guys that have been playing this game, you've understood that if you miss one day, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the day that we miss 2, now we start to backtrack, and we start to really feel the weight. We start to feel the effects of the decline. So the goal is for you guys to think about this like veneers. Okay. Most entrepreneurs, they're like veneers. They have their old paradigm. They show up here and there. They post on their story just to say they were on the call, they did their journal, but they weren't really feeling it when they wrote the journal. They didn't really have the real faith when they wrote down what they were thinking. They didn't really have the belief when they said what they were saying. So what happens? I want you to think about our mind, okay, our head, and I want you to think about a little balloon inside. The balloon is the joy that we give ourselves, is the happiness, is our self-confidence. So some of us will be on a run for 2 or 3 weeks or for a month, and we go hard, we hit a rank, we make some money, we withdraw a little bit, but guess what happens? It can take one little pin and your whole bubble's popped. All of that work, all of that effort, now you go right back to the old thoughts. You go right back to, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to learn how to trade. Nobody can see my vision. I don't think anybody believes in me. Drop some twos down below if you guys have been in that scenario, right? If you guys have been on a roll for a little bit and life hits you like a brick for a second, and now we go right back to the old paradigm, right? I'll go ahead and drop some twos down below because I definitely have been there. I know the feeling. But you know what I realized it stemmed from? I wasn't really doing the deep work. I wasn't. Some people tell me they're really putting in the time, but then when I ask them, like, yo, what's Think and Grow Rich? What's on chapter 4? They can't tell me. They have no idea. So this happens a lot of the time because people, they like to be a professor. They seem like they know the information, but when you really dig down, they don't know the details. So this is something that I had to really get serious about. I had to really get into the books. I had to really get into the audios. I had to really get serious about my morning routine. And not just be the one to post that I was reading a book today, but I wanted to really absorb the value, not just be the one to post on a go live. I wanted to take the information and implement something that I learned. And this is how you become somebody that doesn't have veneers, because now when life hits, you have a vision. You know where you're going. You see farther than most people can actually see right ahead of them. And this is where the real change started to happen. So to go ahead and end it off like this, before I go ahead and pass it on, I want you to think about your head right now, and you have the balloon every day to go ahead and fill up your joy. But if you don't do the deep work, if you don't do the inner, not just to understand, but to really understand, it's gonna be so easy, whether it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, for somebody to come on and literally take a little pin and pop your bubble. And you know what's crazy? Some of us actually end up starting popping our own bubbles because of the self-talk, because we haven't let go of certain toxic things. This is why it's so important to get down the gratitude, to get down the journaling in the morning, so you can start to get in the state and the wish fulfilled. So family, that's my 5 steps to go ahead and really start to analyze your thoughts, your intentions, your feelings, and get your energy in the right state of frequency so you can actually vibrate with what it is that you envision with your goals. So let's go ahead and open it up. Raise your hand. Who wants to go ahead and go first to let the family know a little bit of the value, something that you guys have been able to take away that has truly changed your thoughts, your habits, your perceptions, your daily, not even routines, but your daily rituals. So Horizon J, if you want to go ahead and go first, brother, the floor is yours.
What's going on, family? Happy Friday. What up, Nikki?
Friday, TIF.
Hey, so just to repeat, you want me to talk about just some of the changes in the rituals, or just what was that question again?
Yeah, what are some things that you've been able to take away in the past couple of weeks, past couple of months that have really changed your paradigm, that have got you in a different state, a different frequency?
Yeah, for sure. One thing, the consistency has really helped certain things change outside of my control that I didn't know that was a thing, right? So before I would just do these things, and if I didn't do it, I didn't do it. And I was like, well, there's nothing changing on the outside, right? But then as you really get into day 14 and day 21, and you start seeing these different things happen, that you're like, dude, I'm not even controlling this stuff. And it really puts you in that crossroad of, are you going to stay consistent or not? You know, that continues to be that question. Are you going to stick it through or not? And so that's one thing. And another thing too, this is more business related. You know, as we all know, you know, we all go through runs and we all have pullbacks or consolidations, and some people don't. Some people just fly. I was somebody that had my run pretty quickly, man. When I put my head down, it's like these results start to come, and it doesn't always happen that way. But I know that this year, you know, it was like I kind of hit P600, had a little pullback, went to Arizona, got it right back, held it for a little bit, and this, you know, the moment you take your eye off the ball, man, and you start like, yo, I'm good, man. I gotta. There are a few things, but yo, and you take a breath, and you start like naturally, man. We start going into this old paradigm, and we start going into this because it's around us, it's in our environment, and yeah, man. You know, I'm not afraid to say I've definitely had my pullback, man. You know, I'm not even gonna sit here like we're starting from the jump. We're starting from the jump. I personally, not from a personal development side, but from a business side, I got to start from the beginning, right? Because I got players that they're not players anymore. They're not here. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Like we got convention next week. You know, as far as what's going on, you know, the situation with my missus, I got to be here. She's going through physical therapy right now, but I still need to start, and I need to. It's already started. It's phase one all over again. It's phase one going into this event. It's phase one while you guys are at the mansion. It's that. It's continuing to get bodies in here, to introduce people to the plan, to create new relationships, because we need to really get into this leadership mode. You know what I mean? That's what happened with me. I know that's what it is. I know that's what it is, right? It was that lapse in leadership. Got that rank, got little residuals coming in, and then it's like, I could chill. No, man, you can't chill. What are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here, man? Are we in this business to be P600? Are we in this business to go chairman? Right? That's something I had to get to the realization of. And so, yeah, man, your boy's here. Your boy's with it. Let's go. Let's ride. You already know the deal. But those have been my takeaways from this year.
No, I love it. I love it. That's big. That's crucial. You know, even for you being able to go through the consistency and see it, it's been incredible to watch, because this was something that even was a gap before, right? That side of the PD, really developing the morning routine. But now you've seen it on the other side, really being hot with it, really staying consistent, really getting around the fire, and what you can actually do when you're tapped in for even 3 days. And a matter of 3 days did more in a matter of months. So that's a perfect example. You know, when a lot of us, we talk about success, you know what the funny part is? For anybody breathing, success is right here. It's just as close as our skin. It just takes tapping in with that frequency, that energy to really start bringing it out. So that's huge. Proud of you, bro. Pat yourself on the back, because there's nothing wrong with going through the retracements. In fact, many of us have experienced it. And the truth about it is, that's a lesson that most of us had to learn. Me, myself included, whether it was P6, P1, P2, you know, even get into P5, I still understand that I need to even be more of a student to get to that next chairman level. So all of the steps in the journey, they become lessons. So now when going forward, now we have a new way to actually look through it through a different lens. So that's big. I love it. Lady Boss Nikki, what are some takeaways? What are some lessons? What are some pieces of value that have shifted your paradigm, that have shifted your morning rituals, your habits, your thought patterns, that have really allowed you to continue to grow and step into the best version of yourself through all the adversity that you went through?
Like 2 words, savage mode. Like that changed everything. Like, I don't know, just like that consistency. Like when I started, like, because I've been consistent since January, you know, like since we started like tapping in every day. But like I chose to like start over to be intentionally consistent, like with this new version of me, not like the old version that I used to be, you know? So just like getting to that mindset and just like getting rid of the self-talk was the best thing that ever happened to me like this year. Like just getting rid of the negative self-talk and like the part of me that try to like that imposter syndrome, basically, like, you know, doing it, but thinking like you don't deserve to be doing it, kind of like, and it's not like I do deserve this. Like I manifested this, like I literally asked God for this and I got it. And now I want to think that I'm not capable. Like, no, what the hell was I thinking, you know? So it's just like getting to that mindset and knowing who I am and knowing what I'm capable of, and knowing that like anything I want, I can have like that, because God gave us all that gift, the gift to create like the life that you want. So it's like, why are you settling? You know what I mean? And that's like the question I've been asking myself like the past few days, like, why are you settling? Like, what is this? Like, you don't deserve this. Like, why are you working? Because you think you have to work, but it's no, you're choosing to work. It's a choice. Like, you just make decisions and you don't look back, and it's like that simple. Just decide what you want and go after it, head down, and don't look up until you get it. That's how I feel. Like that's what I learned this year.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Fire. Absolutely phenomenal information for both of you. The growth has been unreal to see, because from the outside looking in, it's easy to see it, but from the inside looking out, sometimes it's tough seeing through our own eyes, because it's kind of like going to the gym. You go for a couple of days, you look at yourself like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't see anything. But then your friend sees you post a pic. You're like, damn, you're looking good. So the same thing goes for all of you guys. I have nothing but respect, nothing but love, nothing but appreciation for you taking the time to do this for you. This is for yourself. This is for your family. This is for the ones that are around you. And I can promise you, you're leaving a bigger ripple effect more than you know, right? So the biggest thing to go ahead and leave it off for everybody that's watching is when you start stepping into the best version of yourself, you're going to inspire others to start doing the same, right? In a world with so much noise, in a world with so much going on, everybody I'm telling you right now, they are looking for somebody to follow, right? Everybody that is great, tell me one person you can think of that doesn't have a mentor, that doesn't have somebody that they're getting value from, that doesn't have somebody that they're getting inspiration from. I can't think of one. It doesn't exist. So if you can understand that concept, that guess what? The people that are walking after you, they're going to be looking for somebody to follow. And I highly encourage you to be the person to say this statement and truly believe it. I inspire to inspire before I expire. Say that again. I aspire to inspire before I expire. And this is the true beauty of life. You see, I've been the type of person to not only see it, but also experience it. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money, but they're still an asshole. So I started to look at leadership and success in a completely different lens, right? Leadership and success started to become to me a person of impact, somebody of love, somebody who truly cares, somebody who's there to give back, somebody who's up the mountain, but they're willing to actually run down a couple of steps and go grab you and go bring you back up with them. And that's what I want to become. And that's what I want to become surrounded with. And that's what we have access to right here. Whether you're talking about ECX, whether we're talking about trading, whether we're talking about branding yourself and building a business, you have individuals that truly care, that have a lot of time, that have a lot of value, that have more experience than most could even imagine, right? John Guaman that got on the call last night, I'm here to tell you, that's been one of my closest mentors for 5 years. He's 25 years old. He's accomplished in his lifetime more than some people will do in the next 50 years. 50 generations, right? So I'm humbled to be on here with you guys. I'm humbled to be a part of this family, and I couldn't be more blessed and grateful for the timing, for the people, and for the situations that are going to continue to flow into our lives. It is Friday. Let's go out and make this a savage September. AZ is coming up next week, and for those that don't have a chance to make AZ, let me tell you what is coming after, right? We've got Pips on the Strip coming in October. We've got Cancun coming in Mexico. We've got March Madness. The event is to be determined. And Zurich, Switzerland, yes, it's going down for our European family. Barbados and Greece could be taking a trip to go out and experience the value. So let me tell you, this organization is global. We are just getting started, and your impact has yet to be heard. And when you realize the power of your voice, when you realize what you have inside, you're going to understand the success is as close as your skin. So family, I love you. Go out and have an abundant day. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. And guess what? Today's Friday, Residual Friday, Withdrawal Friday, Impact Friday, Love Friday. So go out, go be the light in the darkness. I love you, family. We have got a lot of